Are there any pointers to know we are in the right direction? I've heard you asking if love was already felt. Are there others before? I keep practicing and my mind has calmed quite a lot, but I haven't felt or experienced any insights or anything special. Thank you. Thanks, Nicola. I think that you should, rather than focus on getting to a goal, so something that you get to in the future, so this enlightenment and these awakening experiences and something that other people have got before, I would focus more on what's happening now. So focus on more what it is you truly want, and like, why is it that you're trying to avoid this moment? What is it that's trying to get out of this moment? What is the functioning that's trying to get out of what's happening? And so rather than focusing on if you're there, if you're going to get there or not, focus more on that. And if it is what you want, is free. If that is what you want, freedom, then it will happen. If you really truly want home, then that's what will happen. You don't need to worry about that. And you don't need to judge yourself against anyone else. And ultimately, end of the day, everybody's on the way home. And see that thought for what it is. Like, that thought comes up because it wants reassurance. So just investigate that, what you're feeling and what's happening inside of you, rather than, am I going to get there or am I nearly there? Because they're kind of out of line thoughts, like waste of time thoughts. Here we are now. This is what's happening. And you don't need to judge yourself in a line like that. You can judge yourself in the timeline if you're like learning French. Like, how good am I? Am I on the path? Like, am I on the right path? Am I doing well? But at the same time, if you're learning French, that's pointless thoughts. You just have to keep being positive and keep at it. Like how good you're doing compared to other people, and if you're on the right path with learning French. It's kind of like a distraction, those thoughts. Like when I'm learning French, it's just, I keep on chipping away. I chip, 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 chip. Like in a way, that question is saying that you don't trust life, that you've set out on this mission to find yourself and you don't trust life that will happen. So it's like, see that thought for what it is, that it's a thought to make you feel bad, and you just don't need to do that. That's something you were taught by your parents or by education system. You can assume that you're doing well and that you're on the right path. Why not? If you've got selection of all the particular ways of thinking, why not presume that you're doing well? I think that's one thing that I've been lucky about. Somewhere inside of me, I kind of just had this strength and determination that this was the right path, like there's some part of my conditioning. I know that you ultimately can't pick thoughts, like you can't decide what you think, but it seems like you can. So a thought comes up and says, I don't know if I'm on the right path, I might be doing this wrong. And then you can just sort of shrug, and then you can produce the other thought, even though it's not really you doing it. It just feels like you, but it's not really, it's coming from the infinite, it's coming from the divine, then you can shrug and you can say, I am on the right path and I am going to be able to do it. I am going to know home. You don't need to beat yourself up in any way. You don't even need to beat yourself up and say, but there is nobody to find home. Whatever feels right. Because thinking is just thinking. It's much better to have more positive thoughts than lots and lots of negative thoughts. Lots and lots of negative thoughts is going to be very tiring. So you might as well pick some positive ones or recondition yourself to the positive way of thinking. And the positive way of thinking and the more in line way of thinking to me is that everything will be okay. Everything is held in love, so no matter what you do, you go home and back to love. And that this will be seen. And that life isn't against you. Life is you. And life is love. And all that other negative thinking, you see it, it comes up, you see that you feel vulnerable, and then you move on, you allow it to be there, and then you move on to something more positive. And then you also see that this is all spontaneously happening, that this life is effortless, that it just appears, it's free. I know it sounds like I contradict myself a lot. I say one thing and another, but you can't really get there in thoughts. Like let it lead you there more than like lead you there more in making you present, rather than trying to squeeze something out of it for the person. Use it more as a meditation. Thank you, Lisa, for that beautiful words about listening to our passion and being as most authentic as possible. It really resonates with me. Thanks, Vincent.